Go into your cat and into a cow. Exhale, downward dog. Keeping your body relaxed. And let your whole body kind of deal with this twisting and turning here. Grip into the upper part of your glutes. Oh wow, we got some straps today. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get started with your kneeling. Let's kneel down and put your hand up on your block. You double up on your block. And just reach your arm. Oh, so can you turn off the fan, please? Yeah, reach your arms up up to the top of your mat. You're in a child pose. Open your feet a little bit apart, your legs apart. So you're trying to bring your head down and touch the floor as you roll your shoulders back. And feel how you're rolling as you're rolling your shoulders back, you stretch your fingers out and tighten up your arms. And just keep stretching your arms as you pull and rotate your shoulders back. And as your arms are stretched, bring your right arm behind your back. Inhale. Bring your right arm forward and bring your left arm back. Stretch out your right shoulder. Bring both arms forward and stretch your arms out again. Begin to put your hand on your block and come up to all four. Go into your cat and into a cow and into a cat and into a cow. And your legs are apart as you're looking up, your chin is up. And then turn your head, look at your left foot and look back up. And turn your head, look at your right foot and then look up. Bring your knees back a little bit. If you want to float over the heels of your hands, so you're like in a half plank. So you're floating over the heels of your hands, your knees are back a little bit, you keep your hips up, and just kind of feel like you're engaging your armpits down to your hips as you look up. This is similar to the chaturanga, because you're having to use the side of your torso to grip, to hold your body up. So it's the same idea, armpit to hip. And then you could turn your head and look at your left foot and look back up. And turn your head, look at your right foot and look back up. And then come on back. Exhale deep, child pose. Inhale up, upward dog. And stop right where the weight drops in the heels of your hands. Exhale back, child pose. Inhale up, upward dog. Exhale back, child pose. Inhale up, upward dog. Come back into all four, walk your knees back up. Take your block and put it into the center and bring your left hand on the block. Left hand is on the block, your knees are wide apart, and you're going to stretch your right arm to the ceiling. So as your knees are wide apart, it creates a real nice triangle between your left hand and your knees to be able to really roll back that right shoulder and lengthen your right arm to the ceiling. And then circle your right arm behind you and slide your right hand down your back And if you kind of bring that left knee in a tad, you can anchor your right hand on your left leg if you're still looking up to the ceiling. And then take your right hand back up to the ceiling and stretch your right arm over your head as you try to get your right arm behind your right ear and wiggle your fingers. And then bring your right hand back up and bring your right arm underneath and bring your right arm up. On 4. What we're looking for is underneath the shoulder blade. What are you feeling when you bring that right arm up? Do you feel how you're open and expanding in between each rib? Feel that in there. Feel how you're opening up and right hand is up. Good. Look at your left hand. So now your right hand is stacking above your left hand and you bring your right hand down. Let's do the opposite. Your knees are wide apart. You're opening your left arm up. You're trying to roll back your left shoulder so you're kind of in a back bend. And then bring your left arm down and slide it down your back as your left hand grips onto the right leg. And you're constantly trying to draw your shoulders back, roll your shoulders back, and brace your shoulder blades down. Bring your left hand back up to the ceiling. Stretch your left hand far over your head, behind your left ear. Bring your left hand back up to the ceiling and gently swing your left arm underneath your right arm. On 4. On 3, feel like you're opening up your wings in the left side when you bring that left arm up. 2, and 1 more. All the way up on 1 and pause. You're shifting your left shoulder back. You bring your right shoulder forward, and that helps you to just rotate that spine. And then look at your right hand. Let's bring your left hand on the ground. Let's take your block out of the way. You have both hands now on your mat. Your feet are, your knees are together as you're in your cat. And then a cow. And then a cat. And a cow. And a cat. And a cow. And dig your feet in for your downward dog. Settle your feet in, you lean into your hip, your knees are bent. Your whole focus is to create a straight line from your hips past your shoulders to your hands. So this way we're getting all the muscles to engage from the hands right up to your tailbone. And the only way you can really get all those muscles in your back to be activated is that we have to put pressure on them. So as you get your ears in front of your arms, you want to just feel how all that support is really coming into your back. It's all coming from your back, not your wrist, not your hands. It's coming right into the middle of your back. So you're making all the muscles in your back to work. There's a lot of big muscles in your back too, so they can definitely support you as you shift your weight into your back muscles. Your knees are bent and you're tipping your tailbone up to the ceiling, which would just kind of help you to get a deeper stretch in the middle of your back. From here, let's go ahead and walk your hands to your feet, a few steps, in a forward bend where you're about a foot away from the wall. You have your feet apart, and then put your hands on your lap. You're preparing for your deep chair, and then bring your arms all the way up into a thunderbolt. And as you inhale up, you sink your hips down. If you can't sink your hips down, then just open your feet a little bit. You want to feel like you're stacking your hand right above your hip. So if you're like this, then the weight is not dropping into your hips. You have to be like this. Your arms have to be behind your ears, and then you stand up. So we'll just kind of get that stacking down, because the more you stack, the more you're using all of your body to go into each pose and activate all your muscles at one time. Interlace your fingers, bring the hands behind your head, pull your elbows back, at the same time reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. And as you inhale and your elbows are behind your ears, you're really trying to concentrate and bringing the breath down to the last rib. You want to feel like your last rib is being stretched. As you inhale, and keep inhaling, and keep inhaling, and keep inhaling. Hand up, finish inhaling, and exhale. Have your hands on your hips, bend your knees, just open your feet a little wider apart. Shift your weight to your right and left foot. You can kind of stimulating your feet and waking them up, and just being aware of what it feels like in your feet as you shift your weight into your feet. You have to use that as a guide. It kind of guides you and monitor you as you're going into your stretches. So as you take your left hand up and your right hand down, you want to put some weight in your left foot. And you can feel when you lean to your left that you are feeling that weight going in your left foot. So you use that to kind of guide yourself and delegate where your weight is going, because wherever the weight is where you can stretch from. So if your weight is in your left foot, that means your left hand can stretch higher. And then look at your right foot and bring your your left arm behind you, behind your head, as your left elbow is behind your left ear. And take a breath in here. You're in the upper back room. Then you take your left hand up and look at your left hand. And then bring your left arm down and bring your right arm up. Shift your weight into your right foot as you're looking up. And my whole body's involved in this. I'm lifting my abdomen in and up. I'm separating each vertebrae as my arm goes up. So everything is being involved with this stretch. Your weight is in your right foot. Bring your right arm behind your head and turn your head, look at your left foot. And I've got my weight into my right foot. So I can feel like I'm really getting the most out of this side stretch. I'm really making my body get the maximum stretch. Bring your right hand up, bring your left hand up, and breathe in and up. This is where you gasp for your breath and you breathe in. And then bring your hand to your heart as you're standing nice and tall, and you're just about a foot away from the wall, because you want to pivot and try to put your hands on the wall. If you find your feet placement is not at its best, then just shift yourself. You want to get a nice tall stretch. So that means the crown of your head is up as your shoulders drop down as you look at your right hand. Good. Come on forward. Inhale up. And exhale. Hand to your heart. Let's shift to the left. So what we're doing right now, we're just kind of stimulating the proprioceptors. We're trying to get these muscles to move and stretch and wake everything up. And it'll just make your flow a lot easier. So it's not just about stretching, as it is activating the nerves. Activating the nerves that are all attached to your muscles and telling your muscles what to do. Come on up, inhale up. Exhale your hand to your heart. Hands onto your hips, bend your knees, and bring your feet together. Extend it up in chair. Forward bend. As you fold down, your tailbone goes up. So tip your tailbone up. The deeper you fold in, the higher your hips go up. Rock yourself a little left and right. Keep tipping your tailbone up. Pull your tummy in and up. And drop your head down. This is a good place too to watch your abdomen and make sure you're pulling it up. Don't let your stomach not be engaged. You want to engage because you're trying to pull everything in and up to stretch and lengthen your spine. Go into a high flat back, you inhale, and then from there walk your hand up to your downward dog. In your deep downward dog, as you tip your tailbone up, you just kind of rock yourself again. Inhale and lengthen your spine. Having your feet together, look at your hands as you inhale, your knees are bent. And when you're good, and shift all your weight into the balls of your feet. So when you're ready to exhale, you step or jump to your hands. Coming into a deep forward bend, you exhale. Circle your arms around, come up for your thunderbolt. Come up for your extended mountain, you inhale. And exhale your hand to your heart. Let's keep going. Extended mountain. And chair. Forward bend. And flat back. Plank. And chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Back into your deep downward dog. Breath in. Look at your hand when you're ready. Step or jump to your hands. Exhale. Feet hip width apart. Circle around, arms up. Thunderbolt. Inhale. Extended mountain. Finish inhaling. Exhale your hand to your heart. Extended mountain. In chair. Forward bend. In flat back. Exhale, plank. Continue exhaling chaturanga. And then inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Lean back into your hips and breathe in. Stretch it out. Looking at your hand. Step or jump to your hands. Forward bend. Feet hip width apart. Inhale, extend into a chair. Then extended mountain. Hand behind your head and exhale. But the crown of your head is still going up. First your height and then your back bend. Skip to the left. My weight is in my right foot. Come on up. Hip to the right. My weight is in my left foot. Come back up. Extended mountain in chair. Exhaling, forward bend. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, plank. Keep exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Feet together, right foot up, inhale. Right foot to your hand, lunge, exhale. And you keep exhaling. Then you inhale. Inhale, deep lunge. Exhale, hand to your heart. Hand behind your back. Right knee bent deep. Lean back. Just kind of roll your shoulders back and drop your shoulders down. As you're trying to feel more weight in your right foot. So try to see if you can get some weight in that right foot. That's when you really appreciate being able to discern how much weight is in your, whatever touching the foundation. that kind of guides you. Bring your arm back up into your heart and back down. Right foot back as you exhale into your plank and finish chaturanga. Inhale for your upward dog. Exhale into your downward dog. Deep downward dog, your tailbone is up. Left foot to the ceiling as you inhale up. Bring your left foot to your hand and you exhale, leaning back into your right leg, you exhaling. And then when you're up, you inhale up. So you gotta pace yourself and you don't hold your breath. Bring your hand to your heart. Let's bring your arms behind your back. Draw your shoulders back and bend your left knee deeper. As you're trying to drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, come all the way down. Exhaling into your plank, you finish exhaling, you go into your chaturanga. Inhale, come on up for your cobra, you breathe in and look up. Let's open your legs a little bit. Breathing in, you can bend your elbows if this hurts your back. You can even walk your hands up the mat. You're looking up. Turn your head, look at your right foot. Look back up. Turn your head, look at your left foot. Look back up. Prepare yourself into a child pose. Get your arms out into a deep child pose. Reach your arms long. If your knees are apart, you'll be able to get the chin right onto the floor as you look at your hands. So you're looking at your hands, walk your hands up, and lower your chin down. Then rock yourself up with your feet up and back. And rock. Inhale up, chin is up, and back. And one more time, rock, and your chin is up, floating up. You're gonna feel that weight in the heel of your hands. In fact, just bend your elbows a little bit up and down, just to kind of feel how much weight is going into those hands to balance your body. And then turn your head and look at your right foot as your feet are up, as if you're trying to get your right shoulder to touch your right foot. And then look back up. And then exhale, look at your left foot and begin to inhale as you're twisting with your left shoulder to your left foot. Good, and back up. And come back into a child pose. All the way down. Come back into all four. Bring your knees together. Put your elbows on the mat. You're halfway down your mat. And when you're good and ready, let's go into an inversion. Your feet are on the wall. Your ears are lined up to your arms. Your ears are lined up to your arms as you're looking at the wall. And the right shift as if you're stacking with your body on your feet. You're now stacking your body on your elbows. So you want to feel that weight in your elbows. And at the same time, you push up from the ground. Your feet are together, your knees are bent, your right foot to the ceiling. Just hold that. And then put your right foot on the wall and put your left foot to the ceiling and hold that. And you're still pushing your elbows up. And then put your left foot back on the wall and put your feet back on the ground. Stretch your arms out into your child pose and look at your thumbs. And then come on up into our four and go in your cat, in your cow, in your cat, in your cow. Your knees are wide apart. Can you put your left hand up in the front as you bring your right arm back up? So I got my knees wide apart. My left hand is a little bit above my head, so it's a little bit higher up. And because of that, now I got a good triangle between my knees and my left hand that I can easily bring back my entire right torso. Good. Stretch it up there and look up. Then you take your right hand and put it underneath your left arm and just keep walking your right arm far to the left. Your weight is on your right shoulder and your left hand is on the mat. With your left hand, you're pushing back your left shoulder. Your knees are wide apart, so everything is allowing you to move. If your knees are tight together or if your shoulders too close to your knees, then you really can't move too much. You'll be kind of stuck. So space is important. Once you feel like you got that left shoulder far back, almost behind your right shoulder, then you can bring your left hand to the ceiling and bring your left hand behind your back and even grab your right leg. If everything's in the right place, you should be able to do this. Then take your right hand back up to the ceiling. Put your right hand back on your mat and lift your whole body up. You're back in all four. Being in all four, you go into your cat, and you go into a cow, and into a cat, and into a cow. And then go on to your elbows once again, and back into inverted. Hips above your shoulders, ears in front of your arms. That way you know you're stacking the best you can with the weight of your hip dropping into your elbows. And hold that. And your body trying to hold up. You're pressing your muscles into your bones and lifting up your rib cage to keep your body light as possible. Go ahead and bring your feet back down. Go ahead and stretch your arms back out into a child pose. Look at your thumbs. Go ahead and float up and look up. And back. And float up and look up. Turn it up. And back. And float up and look up and inhale up. Come back into all four. Your knees are wide apart. Let's go ahead and put your right hand now in the center and take your left hand to the ceiling. Kind of wave that left arm because you want to make sure that you're getting as much flexibility as you can in your left arm. And then swing your left arm underneath and take it all the way to the left, or to the right. And then as you're rotating, you have your right hand planted down on the mat, which is causing you to pull your right shoulder back. So it's a lot of calculation here to get everything in the right spot. So now when everything's stacking up, you bring your right hand to the ceiling and you bring your right arm behind your back. So this just helps you to bind your body. We always like to get ourselves in a real nice binding pose. And this is a very nice binding pose. Take your right hand back up. Put your right hand back on the mat. Come with both hands back on the mat. Bring your knees together. Go into your cat and into a cow and look up. Dig your feet into the earth and go in your downward dog. You're welcome to move your hands up a little bit on your mat so you're in a good downward dog. And just lean back into your hips and inhale on the balls of your feet. And then from there, looking at your hands with your knees bent and you're squatting with your weight into your hip, you can step or jump to your hands. Coming down into a deep forward bend with your hand to the side of your feet. You circle your arms out to the side as you're inhaling. You brace yourself. In your thunderbolt, you come up and then your arms back up. So it's just kind of like building a building block. You're just building one block above the others. Bring your hand behind your head. Elbows back. Drop your shoulders down and scoop your tummy in. If you want to go for the height. Hands up and inhale. Hand to your heart and exhale. Inhale back up. Deep chair. Forward bend. Exhale. High flat back. Inhale. Back in your plank. Exhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. Back up for your cobra. Inhale. Exhale. Downward dog. Feet together. Right foot up. Inhale. Right foot to your hand. Exhale. Left foot at a 15-degree angle. Prepare on yourself. You're coming into your warrior as you're bringing your arms up and around and over. Right hand up. Right knee bent. Roll your shoulders back and pull up your bandha. Right arm behind your back and grab your left arm as you look at your right foot. In this position, as you're looking at your left foot, your right hand is holding on to your left arm. In this position, there can be a lot of crazy things to calculate here and to figure out what exactly am I doing here. So what you try to think about is that your right knee is bent deep, but you're still trying to drop your weight in your left leg. And your right arm is behind your back, so you're rolling your shoulders back. But you're still trying to reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. Then take your right hand back up and look at your right hand. And then bring your right elbow onto your right knee and bring up your left hand. And breathe that in as you extend your left hand up. And then bring your left arm behind your back and you can grab your right leg with your left hand. If you did the first alignment right, then you should be able to freely do this and bring them back your left shoulder. Bring your left hand to the ceiling, you inhale. Turn your head and look at your right hand. Bring your left hand on the outside of your mat. Bring your right foot on the other side of the mat. Take your left foot way back. Lower your body down for your lunge. And let's just get your left knee on the ground. So now you got your left knee far back, is on the ground. Your hands are spread apart with your right foot. Bring your right hand back up. You're continuing your rotation as your right hand grabs your left foot. And look over your shoulders. So in order to get to that place, it took a lot of organizing your space in order to be able to really rotate and grab your right foot with your right hand, or left foot with your right hand. All right, let's turn your head, look at your left hand. Put your hands in place on your mat so you can take back your right foot. Balance yourself, and then chaturanga. Rolling your shoulders back, breathe in and up. Turn it up, roll back your shoulders. Armpit down to your hips. Pack it in. And keep your throat open. From there, downward dog. Deep downward dog, your tailbone is up, your feet are together, you pull your bandha in and up. That's kind of the last move, is just lifting up your bandha. And then from there, you can step or jump to your hands. As you in your forward bend, you drop the crown of your head down. Your feet are hip-width apart. Can you put the palm of your right hand face up as your right foot steps on your right hand? Can you put the palm of your left hand on your mat as your left foot steps on the palm of your left hand? And fold in. This is the elephant pose. From there, go into your high flat back. Look up. You need to bend deep. Fold back in as you bring your arms around. You're preparing yourself for your thunderbolt. Armed up and back down to the ground. Deep forward bend. You're doing good. We're digging in deep here. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're folding in, crown of your head down into your high flat back. You breathe in again and prepare yourself as you step back in your plank. In your plank, you shift your weight over the heels of your hand. Keep your bandha in, up, and down to your chaturanga. Roll your shoulders back. Come on up, upward dog. Breathe in. And when you're good and ready, downward dog. Deep downward dog, your feet are together. Now your left foot is high up in the ceiling as you inhale. Bring your left foot to your hand as you exhale. Right foot 15-degree angle. You're bracing yourself to bring your right arm and get a nice deliberate circle to your right leg as your left hand comes up. As I take my left hand up, I'm pulling my breath up with it. Bend your left knee a little deeper. Circle your left arm behind your back. Turn your head and look at your right foot. And drop your shoulders down. You're looking at your right foot. You inhale with your left shoulder back. Good. Now go ahead and bring your left hand up and look at your left hand. How high can you get your left hand up? You want to feel like you just spread apart the shoulder blade that's attached to your ribs. That you're actually lengthening that. Bring your left elbow down onto your left knee. Bring your right hand up to reach and stretch your right hand up. And now that we've really got ourselves in a good deep stretch, you should be able to bring that right hand behind you and just grab your left leg. You're rotating your shoulders back. Beautiful. Let's bring that right hand back up. Look at your left hand. Bring your right hand at the edge of the mat on the right. Your left foot on the edge of the mat. Your right knee way back. Take your right foot up. Circle your left hand around and let your left hand grab your right foot while you're still trying to keep your body up. You're still reaching up. You're pushing away from the foundation as you look at your right foot. So there's a lot of activity, a lot of energy going into this. Look at your right hand, left hand down, right hand down, left leg is back into your plank, holding into your plank, and then chaturanga. Put your body up into a child pose. Come back into a deep child pose and bring your arms behind your back. Stretch your hands back up to your mat in your child pose and look at your hands as you walk your shoulders up and walk your hands up. Come back into our four. Let's finish up in another downward dog. You're going to interlace your fingers, tuck your chin in, stacking yourself. Let's go into an inversion. Maybe this time you can get your feet a little higher up, like a plank. Can you get your legs a little straighter and get yourself on a plank? An east plank, as you're pushing away with your elbows. You feel like your body is getting stronger and stronger. And what you're doing here is you're creating a lot of isometric in all those little intricate muscles that run all within the spine, between the ribs, along with the ribs, in your neck and your shoulders. There's a lot of very detailed, high-functioning muscles and ligaments that really need a good massage, and this is doing it. Walk your feet down a little bit and put your feet back on the ground. go back into your child pose. Doing a plank is a whole body workout, and turning it upside down is like tripling the effect. Come on and float up and inhale up and look up and back. Come on up and inhale up, chin is up. Come back into all fours. Bring the knees together and go back into your downward dog. Deep downward dog, position your feet and pull your bandha up. You just keep trying to push up and lift up. With your feet together, take your right foot to the ceiling as you inhale. Swing your right foot to your hand as you exhale. We're going into a wide leg stretch. From there, you're welcome to grab your block and put it up into the front of you. And that kind of helps you to keep those legs straight. As your legs are wide apart and your heels are out and your toes are in. It's easy to keep your legs straight, then just go ahead and use the ground. You don't need the block. But if you feel that your knees are buckling in, then use the block. So you're folding in, your weight is in the heels of your feet, your tailbone is up. You really can't get your tailbone up if your weight is not pressing into the heels of your feet. So hold that position, your legs are engaged. Put your hand on your hip and prepare yourself to come up into a flat back and then stand up. And you can only do that if you're digging your heels down. Bring your hands up to the ceiling, lift up, and breathe in and up. Reach your arms nice and high. Let's spread your arms out far to the right. Holding your arms out, can you bring your left arm behind your back? And let's just turn your left foot to face the wall. And then just kind of extend your left hand like you want to touch the wall with your left hand. So your left foot is facing the wall and your left hand is stretching to touch the wall. Inhale. Good. Come back into your center. Let's put that left hand behind your back. Turn your left foot back in. We're doing kind of a modified triangle pose. Now take your right foot out. Take your right hand, stretch it out, and reach your right hand right over your right foot. Your right hand is lifted, it's up, it's not going down, and it's just trying to stretch past your right foot. But you still have your weight in your left arm and in your left foot, so that's keeping you steady. Good. Come on back up. You put your feet forward, you turn your toes back in, you bring your hand to the ceiling, you bring your hand to your heart, you put your hand onto your hip, you drop your shoulders down, you come back into your flat back, and fold your body to the ground. Exhale all the air out. Rock your hips a little left and right. Tailbone up, crown of your head is down. Hold that a little bit longer and breathe in. Again, if you find that you cannot keep your legs straight, then you need to use the block. Let's go from here and walk your hand all the way down to the wall. Then put your thumb and index finger on the wall. You're in a downward dog. Going into a nice deep downward dog, just kind of a beautiful deep stretch along your spine. And hold that. So you have your hand on the wall, your palms of your hand on the floor, your tailbone is up, and you're just feeling like you totally can connect with this. This really does activate every cell in your body when you're using the wall like this, because you're pushing away from the wall. And just kind of rock yourself a little bit with your knees bent as you tip your tailbone up. You have your feet together, take your right foot high up to the ceiling. How high can you get it? Can you get your legs way up? And then bring your right knee to your nose and take your right leg way up. And your right knee to your nose and your right leg way up. And one more time in, and take it way up, and hold that for a second, as high as you can get it. As you pull your abdomen in and up, you can get your right leg even higher. Put your right foot next to your left foot, and then walk your hand to your feet in your forward bend. Drop the crown of your head down as your tailbone goes up. With your knees bent, put your hands on your lap. You shift back as you inhale. Bring your arms around, extend your hand to the ceiling, thunderbolt, and it makes it easy to stand up because you're pushing off from your feet. Bring your hand to your heart. Bring your arms back up, extended mountain. Bring your hand to your heart, deep chair. Come all the way down to your forward bend as you exhale all the air out. Look up for your high flat back. You inhale and you walk your hands back up to the wall. As you're back into the wall and you're leaning your ears in front of your arms and your feet are far from your hands, so that will allow you to bring your left leg way up. If your right foot is far from your hand, you should be able to get that left leg straight up to the ceiling. And then bring your left knee in and take your left leg up. And bring it back in and take it back up. And bring it back in and take it back up. And lift it up and squeeze nice and deep in that left hip as you're pushing away from the wall. And then bring your left foot next to your right foot. Bring your feet a little bit apart and put your knees on the ground. Walk your hand up on your mat and cross your ankles. We're going to go ahead and you're going to prepare yourself to scoot up. You're sitting up to the wall about a foot and a half, and grab your strap with you. So you got your strap with you. You're about a foot and a half away from the wall, and you're on your back. And then we're going to go ahead from here and put your legs up on the wall. So my legs are like a 45-degree angle here, and I'm going to take my strap, just use a little bit of the loop at the end, and then put your right foot on the strap, and then position yourself to bring your arms over your head. As you bring your arms over your head, as you're holding onto the strap with your right foot in the strap, you're stretching into your right hip. And just kind of relax and drop your shoulders away. You're going to see if you can rest your shoulders, your arms, your elbows. You want to rest them all on the floor. So this way, you're making your whole body participate in this stretch. Keep your right leg relaxed, even rock your right leg to the right and then to the left while you still keep your elbows on the floor. Keep your body steady. So this is a whole body exercise. You have to think about it. Even the back of your hands are on the floor. From there, walk up your strap and grab your buckle. As you get your forehead to your knees. You stay there for a second. Can you get your forehead to touch your right knee? Good. And lay back down. Let's go ahead and bend your left knee so your left foot's on the floor. So you have your left foot on the floor with your left toes touching the wall. And you're still holding on to your strap. But this time you're going to have your hands separate as you're holding on to the strap, because you're going to take your right leg and lower it far to the left. So now as I'm lowering my right leg far to the left and I'm spreading my hands apart as I'm holding on to the strap, I'm actually anchoring my body onto my right elbow and everything pressing down to the right as my left foot is stretching far to the left. And my left foot is actually on the wall. My left foot is resting on the wall, even though it's resting on my knee is resting on the floor. I'm still kind of bracing myself. So this is just a lot of binding here. You're just doing a lot of binding. As you're holding on to the strap and you're right leg is forward to the left, and your left foot is pressing in the wall, and your right elbow is onto the floor. All this is great stuff. You just really kind of stir things up a little bit and tightening lots of hidden spots in your body and getting those joints to loosen up. Let's come out of this. You can bend that right knee and come out. Take your right leg back up to the ceiling, and then walk back up your strap and bring your forehead to your right knee. Your left knee is bent and your left foot is still touching the wall. And then come on back down and exhale. Beautiful. Let's do the opposite now. We're going to put both legs back up on the wall. Both legs are back up on the wall. You're on your back. You got the strap in your hands. Now put your left foot in the strap. And then from there, bring your arms over your head and press your elbows onto the floor. And tuck in and look at your left knee as you gently rock your left leg, left and right. Keeping your body relaxed. And then go ahead and stabilize your left leg as you walk up the strap. And you bring your forehead in as you pull your arms back and pause. Staying nice and deep as you're pulling your left leg in. And then come back down. As you come down, put your right foot on the ground. And your right toes will be touching the wall. You have your left leg up. Lower your left leg far to the right. Your right knee is now onto the floor. You're stretching your hands apart as you're trying your best to press your arms onto the floor. As you're stretching your left leg far to the right, and your right foot is bracing you into the wall, and your left hand is taking the strap far to the left and stretching and pulling it, as your right hand is helping you keep your left foot pressing onto the floor to the right. And then just look at your left hand. And let your whole body kind of deal with this twisting and turning here, and you're getting a good deep stretch. Good. And then go ahead, bending your left leg. Bring your left leg back up. Your left leg is back up. Walk up your strap and bring your forehead to your left knee. Bring your elbows back and grip into your core. And then lay back down. Beautiful. Let's take that strap out of the way. That was great. We got some good hip openers with that. Wiggle yourself down the wall a little bit more and put your feet on the wall. So you're about a foot away from the wall. So you're a foot away from the wall. Your feet are on the wall. You draw your shoulders away from your ears. You pull your arms down. And then from there, go ahead and just lift your body right on up into a bridge. And you get into a nice bridge here. Your feet are wide apart. And you rock your shoulder blades together. And you're kind of a little bit further from the wall. So this will allow you to almost create like a bow where you can push your hips forward as you're stacking your weight onto your neck and your shoulders. And hold that. Grip into the upper part of your glutes. And lower your body down. Come back up. And lower your body down. Come back up and lower your body down. One more time, come back up. Can you bring your legs, straighten your legs out and just put the heels of your feet on the wall? So your feet are apart, the heels are pressing in, and that's pushing you off where you're gripping in all your leg muscles as you're pushing into the wall. So everything's being challenged and all the muscles are being engaged. Get in the neural pathway and the circulation of your body, the lymphatic system. Everything's working pretty hard right now. Bend your knees, lower your body down, Bring your knees in, take a break here. Rock your body a little left and right. As your knees are tucked in, bring your hand behind your head and have your elbows tap your knees. You exhale all the air out. Let's do 10 sit-ups on 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lay back down. So wiggle yourself a little bit away from the wall. We're going to flip ourselves into, once you're a little bit away from the wall, you can go ahead and flip your body into a child pose. Just turn your body around and go right into a child pose. Float on up and look up and inhale up. Come into our 4. Position your hand, position your knee, go into your downward dog. Deep downward dog, you tip your tailbone up. Everything's starting to make sense now. You just really have a lot of control on your muscles. You feel everything is charged, everything is in sync, and that your mind is working. You just kind of have a great sense of unity here with your body, everything working together. Lean back into the balls of your feet. As you inhale, look at your hand and take a nice, long, steady breath in. And when you're good and ready, you use that breath to exhale and come into your mountain pose. Your forward bend, exhale. And then from there, bring your arms around for your chair. Your deep chair, you come up, thunderbolt, arms up, then mountain pose, and then breathe in and up. And feel like that breath just kind of flows. It just flows from your feet right to your fingertips. There's no kinks, nothing interfering, nothing slowing it down. It's just a beautiful, clean, flowing breath that's going right up to your fingertips. And exhale your hand to your heart. Namaste. Thank you.